Storms that will move out the way, and trials will come to only test my faith. What I've learned about your favor, your mercy and your grace, is they go on forever. They're sufficient for today. When I'm worried about tomorrow, I won't be overwhelmed, and the burdens that I've carried.
If it dies, it's meaningless to you.
No, we don't believe that the flesh is meaningless.
I know, I'm trying to say
If the flesh is meaningless, then why is the resurrection so important?
it's not. That's what we're trying to say. The resurrection is not important. Why? Because even in the Old Testament you have people who's resurrected.
In our full completeness in body and soul, and coming back, and the fixing of the fall of man.
This is a church
Coming back
teaching
bodily
which is
and
not
soul.
even based on biblical, and the Bible is not based on anything which we established. Why? Example, Jesus or the Old Testament says, "The soul that sinneth, it shall die. No man bears the iniquities of the father, no father bears the iniquities of the son. The soul that sinneth, it shall die." I'm not responsible for your sin, and he's not responsible for your sin. Every man that sinneth is responsible for their own sin, and that makes perfect sense. Jesus did not say, "I came to die for you." He said, "Be it your will, not my will. Let this cup of death pass me." And this way we say, "Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum."
Muslims don't believe that.
Two things is presented by the Muslim speaker. These are his opposition to the crucifixion of Jesus. His 2 points basically are cherry-picked verses in the Bible which can actually be proven with holes in the narrative. His 2 points are these. 1. The Bible says, "The Son cannot bear the sins of the Father, and the Father cannot bear the sins of the Son, therefore crucifixion is false, because Jesus bears the sins of sinners." 2. Jesus didn't die because he prayed that his Father must remove the cup of death, and his Father always hears him. So these are his 2 basic points. How shall I answer? I will use simple logic for you to notice holes in the narrative. Firstly, it says, "The Son does not bear the sins of the Father, and the Father does not bear the sins of the Son." The thing is, there is a question. Is this a general statement? Is it absolute? Nope. It's a cherry-picked verse, but considering the death and crucifixion of Jesus for redemption of sinners, then it could either be that crucifixion is an exception to the rule or a contradiction. Which? Is it an exception to the rule or a contradiction? Muslims prefer the contradiction to glorify Islam, but we as Christians prefer that it's rather an exception to the rule. How come? Because beforehand, God already gave an assurance that His word is not pervert nor froward, so His word has no contradiction. Let us read. Proverbs 8 verses 8 to 9. 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness, there is nothing froward or perverse in them. 9. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Unquote. On this juncture, the Muslim used an ambiguous verse. Now resolve this. Is crucifixion an exception to the rule or a contradiction? It's ambiguous. Next, number 2. In this accusation, he misinterpreted the verse. Let's read it. Matthew 26 verse 39. 39. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless not as I will, but as thou wilt. Unquote. There is an observable ground in understanding the verse, that is, Jesus was giving the Father 2 options to choose from, that is, 1. Take away this cup. 2. Do your own will. Therefore, as optional, God chose number 2, thus he was crucified. Even Jesus abandoned his will to be spared, as he said. Matthew 26 verse 42. 42, he went away again the second time, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. Unquote. He was being in submission to whatever God must have wanted to do. Therefore, nothing in these verses is absolute to say Jesus was spared from death. Fact is, God chose the second option, that is, to do his own will, thus Jesus was killed. Thank you.
There may be storms that will move.